Okay, we are live here. We have to talk about this. What a display of stupidity and arrogance. My God. Uh, yeah, okay, so that was last night. I'm here in Norway. So, yeah, last night. Shocking news. It's quite shocking. Suddenly, and I was watching this on the TV, Trump, JD Vance, and Zelensky sitting there arguing like I don't know what to call it. Trump, no, sorry, Putin must be laughing now. He must be laughing because this is not a display of power. It's not making Trump look powerful. It's not making Zelensky look powerful. It's not making any sense. This is not making any sense. Okay. um, I'm trying to. I'll try to keep this short. Short. Excuse me. I have things to do, and I really can't keep track of all the crazy stuff going on these days. And Brad, thank you for writing there. You're saying that Trump supported this for a decade, supported while running for this election, and now has done a complete 180 backflip. Something isn't adding up here. Yes, that's what I'm thinking too. Something isn't adding up here. And I'll tell you what made me think that something fishy is going on here. Suddenly, all of a sudden, Zelensky flies to the USA to talk to Trump and allegedly to sign a deal giving the USA access to the minerals that they need to make batteries and weapons and stuff in Ukraine. Why the hell would he do that? Nobody signed a deal, as far as we know, when this whole horrible war started. That it wasn't like the USA said we're going to send you these weapons, but we're going to have to get access to your minerals after the war for many years. It doesn't add up. And he said no. Zelensky said no. And suddenly he says yes, and he goes over there to sign the deal, and they start arguing. What is going on here? Now, okay, so it's not uncommon that politicians don't like each other. It's not uncommon that politicians meet and they do not agree. I mean, enemies are meeting. Uh, State leaders that are enemies in countries at war with each other are meeting, and you normally see them shaking hands. And well, actually, this started with them shaking hands, and Trump made a comment about Zelensky's little cosplay costume there, um, and but this, what is this? Um, Now, what I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. It's extremely unwise. Um, and I'm tempted to say that it all boils down to Trump's personality and age. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Um, but what we're seeing here, you know what? I don't care if people don't like what I'm saying. I honestly don't care. So just go on with whatever. Okay, so the sensible thing to do would be to meet, to talk, and you take disagreement when the cameras are not on, behind closed doors. Now, this was a display of weakness, and people like Putin and so on, they only understand this power language, and they see weakness or strength. And this was not strength. And this was foolish, and it should not have happened. It should not have happened. I am very tempted to say that two things need to be said here. A lot of what especially J.D. Vance said is true. It is true. I haven't seen the whole thing, but a lot of what he said is true. It is true that in Ukraine, they are dragging people to the front, and men do not even have the option of leaving that country. It's illegal. That goes against human rights. So it's not like we have good guys and bad guys here. It's not black and white. And please do not read into that I defend Russia attacking Ukraine, because that's not what I said. But I need to say that a lot of what both Trump and J.D. Vance said, it was true. It was also extremely foolish to say it in front of the cameras, because it's not putting that alliance, and it is still an alliance, it's not putting it in a good position when it comes to negotiations with Russia. Trump should have known this. He's known for being a good negotiator. But I don't see this. This got out of hand. This got out of hand. Zelensky should have been treated with respect. He was not, as far as I could see. They interrupted. And if you look at the three people sitting there, I think most people will say that. And this has nothing to do with whether you agree or disagree, but the one who made the best impression, or the best impression there, or out of those three, that was Zelensky, because he didn't act like a narcissistic fool. Again, not saying that I support or do not support or agree or disagree. I'm just saying that this is my comment on how that whole thing looked. This happening is so uncommon, so unheard of, that I think we're looking at a thin veneer of... That's the only thing that separates us, the illusion there. A thin layer of veneer, using fancy words here. That's the only thing separating the facade and what they're trying to tell people and what's really going on. So I have some guesses. And if you want to, you can scroll back, going back to the beginning of this war, and I commented on that. And I said, you know what, I think it's about resources. At the end of the day, I think it's about resources, the attack on Ukraine. And I think that theory has been strengthened now. So here's, I get it. There is so much hate. There is so much nonsense going on. I'm sorry to say this. It's usually not like this, but I see people here that normally do not join the chat. They have joined now, and it's people are arguing. So please don't do that. Please be respectful to each other. Please try. I think something fishy is going on here, and I think it has to do with a scheme that has been already negotiated between the USA and Russia, and that scheme involves, I'll just say it, Russia getting access indirectly to nature resources in Ukraine. I think it's about this shift that we are seeing, and people might deny it, especially people like Trump. They might deny it, but we are moving from one form of energy to another. We need batteries and stuff like that, and we need microchips to power everything, AI and all that shit. Excuse my language. And it can be found in the Ukraine, and it will put the USA and Russia at an advantage against China. So I would not be surprised if a few years from now, people are looking at who owns the companies drilling for these minerals, extracting these minerals from Ukraine. And when you look at who owns the companies and who is part owner and so on, you will find Russians there. And you will find that many of those minerals are going to Russia. That's my theory. I hope I'm wrong. I'm saying that a lot now. I hope I'm wrong. It is extremely, people are having a hard time staying objective and staying away from getting too emotional or getting emotional at all about this. I know it's difficult, but we kind of have to in order to be able to see clearly what's going on. And I think that when something like this happens, you either have, well, you can have one out of two things or both. You can have a state leader like Trump having a personality that a state leader should not have. And I kind of think that we are looking at that. We're looking at someone with narcissistic traits here, and it it doesn't look good, you know. And also when something like this is happening, something big is happening behind closed doors, behind the scenes. Something big is coming. And I will never forget the disrespect. And you know what? I don't like the rhetoric, a lot of the rhetoric that has come from Zelensky. I don't like that. And I do not support anyone who grabs people from the street, sending them to the front to be killed. And I don't fucking care what people say about that. I do not support any state leader who punishes people for leaving the country. But it was just, looking at that was just absurd. It should never have happened. And if I had, I already said that a lot of the things that at least J.D. Vance said, it was true. A lot of the things, not everything, but a lot of it. But the disrespect in full display is not doing any good, and you may not like Zelensky, but this is foolish. This is foolish. And Mark says, it's war, dude. I'm not your dude. It's what happens. No, you see, this doesn't really happen. That's the thing. This kind of communication in front of the cameras, it doesn't happen. If you're talking about grabbing people and sending them to the front, uh, yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong. God Phoenix, thank you for the donation. That was very kind of you. We will. You know what I think? I think things are about to be exposed. Many things are about to be exposed, and my best bet is that this has something to do with access to those minerals in Ukraine. That's my best bet. I think there's something there, and I think Russia is involved, and I think that Russia feels that they must be involved. But then again, I don't know. Are there minerals like that in Russia as well? You know, it's a huge country. So maybe I'm wrong, but there's something here that's not it doesn't add up. There's something here that is not quite right. I'm sure you guys can feel it too. There's something here that should tell us that something's going on here that we don't know about. What is it? What is it? Yes, Trump's persona, his personality is also it's not the best, you know. But what's going on here? What is going on here? I'm in a thinking process here, and I'm starting to think that the war in Ukraine has been about something that we haven't really considered up until now. So I guess I will end this live stream. Hi there, Stealth Mode. I'm just ending the live stream. I think the wisest thing to do now is to not jump to conclusions, but rather think about this, you know, and keep an eye on this. What is really going on here? Because this thing here yesterday was maybe the first thing that happened that was not scripted, so to speak, that was not according to plan, that was not, yeah. I mean, we'll see. We will see. But I will be very, very skeptical to anyone who well, I would just be skeptical moving. I am skeptical. I've always been skeptical, but yeah, what's really going on here? You know, that's the big question. What's really going on here? And also the rhetoric and the words Trump is using now when it comes to Putin, and the words he's been using when it comes to Zelensky. It seems to be, it can't really be explained as just Trump's way of talking, his way of bullying himself into a good position in a negotiation. It seems to be something else going on here. And I don't know what it is. My bet is on access to those minerals. But now I'm thinking, why would Russia be interested in that? As I said, I think Russia will have access to that through mother companies, we call them in Norway, part ownership in the companies extracting those minerals. But now I'm thinking, why would Russia be interested in that? Because Surely they must have access to that in that giant country that we call Russia. So what's going on here? What caused this scene? What caused this scene? Something that we have never, at least I can't remember to ever have seen something like this. What caused this scene? And I'm such a cynical person that I'm. Marge says Zelensky is an arrogant little child. Really? Maybe so, but what if you think that? Then what would you say about Trump? you know. So if we're talking, who's the most arrogant person here? But what's going on here? What's going on here? And I'm such a cynical person that now I'm starting to think, was this done on purpose? I mean, was it done on purpose, or did it just happen? Yeah, okay. I'll leave it at that. Just wanted to say a few words about this. Now I have other things to do. I can't really keep up with idiots in charge of things anymore. Not really that interested either, to be honest with you. So yeah, we will. Sane says you have the situation all backwards. I think you haven't listened to me, Sane. But since you're a fucking expert, why don't you tell us what's really going on? Actually, you can send an email to the White House and Putin and tell them what's going on and that you know it all. So, yeah. Yeah, you know what? I see all the good people are here. Well, many of the good people are here, so wonderful. But I also see a lot of keyboard armchair experts here. And I think that, yeah, I've already said it, but I don't think I think none of us at this point is able to see the whole picture. So what I will say is that this scene yesterday, to me, it reeks of something fishy going on behind the scenes. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. It was very strange. Okay, that's all for now. As usual, I'll have a video up on main channel in a few hours. Please check that out.